imagine you're in a village on a Friday night and you get to your village, it's now 9 o'clock and your friend's grandmother is very sick and you need to call the doctor. The problem is that you go to your phone, you've got no money left on your phone. And you look for the guy with the green jacket, yellow jacket to buy that scratch-off card. You can't find him anywhere because he's already gone. He comes twice a week. He's not going to be there till Monday again. So currently, you know, you hope your grandmother stays well until Monday morning. But now you say, what? We're part of the MAP system. We're a Postbank customer. We've actually got a whole mobile banking application. So what we'll do is, the first thing we'll do is to check the balance on the account. Now this system is a live system that operates throughout Uganda, but it's a demonstration, so the money is not real money it's not real cash, but it's a real system that's actually working through Uganda. So if the cellular service is no good in this room over here, this demonstration won't work. But the first thing we do is we get a balance on the account. So every transaction that we do, you have to check your, we have to put your PIN code in. So we put in our PIN code and we're going to check now, see if we have service, you know, over here. If we do, we're going to have our balance is going to be able to come through. And now everybody's going to see how much money I have in my bank account. But as you can see, it's 70,198,000 and change in my bank account. It's roughly 2,000 shillings. It's roughly $35,000. So now we have money in the bank account. So now we're going to top up the phone. So we go to the buy prepaid, and we're going to put in our PIN code, and then we're going to select, you know, kind of the primary bank account, because we can choose different bank accounts that we want to work with. So we're going to choose the primary account because that's what's programmed for now. And then we're going to pick, you see here, the primary savings credit, but we're going to pick the primary. Now we're going to select an amount of money. So it's 2,000 shillings to the dollar. How many shillings of airtime would you like to buy? 5,000 shillings. Okay, so we're going to do 5,000 shillings. And we sell we sell airtime for all the companies in Uganda. So you can choose MTN, UTL, Warid, or Zain. We're going to go with Zain, former Celtel, and now we're going to go and buy the 5,000 shillings of airtime. And you see Zain airtime, and we got the success, and now your balance went down to 193,000. Now you've got your 5,000 shillings of airtime. So now we're going to call the doctor, because now the doctor's on his way. So whilst we're waiting for the doctor, why don't we pay some bills? Right? The doctor's on his way. So what we have over here is we have beneficiaries. The way we have our system set up is that in order for people to pay their school fees, the school's got to be registered on our system. In order for people to pay their electricity bill, the electricity company has to be on our system. So I'm going to show you here some of the companies that are going to be registered on our system that me as a customer, I'm going to be able to pay those bills directly from my phone when I'm sitting kind of comfortably under my tree in my village, now waiting for the doctor to come. So I don't know, again, how much you can see or not, but the Kampala Junior High School, I've got one of my kids in the school, so now I can pay my school fees from my village without needing to go, and the school fees, and it's registered for you personally to that one. The Entebbe Electrical Company, the SACCO, the insurance company. Let's say you want to buy a national lottery ticket, which is not set up yet, but it's all part of the potential for the future. Or if you're a member of the Catholic Church and you want to pay your tithes, right, you can set up the Catholic Church. So now people can pay their bills directly, which is tied in for them personally. It's part of the system that we're creating. So now the doctor comes and we want to pay the doctor. So we're going to pay to you, which is to pay the doctor. Again, we always got to put in our code. And then we're going to pay the doctor. Okay, we'll give him 10,000 shillings. So we'll do 10,000. And now we're going to put in the number. The doctor will assume doesn't have a formal account on our system, meaning he's not a beneficiary, so he doesn't have his own code number. But we're going to just send it to his phone number. So I'm going to plug in the phone number of an actual account, and we're going to reference. We're going to put it Dr. Big Think. All right. So he's a big thinking doctor. So here, this is the screen that we're going to be sending, and now we're going to pay. So now the doctor will be over there, and he's about to give service to your grandmother. He says, "I want my money. I want to see that you paid me." So he's now going to have we're going to get an approval in a second. To you, payment successful. Big Think, 10,000 shillings to that amount, and you saw your balance goes down. So now the doctor, I don't have the other phone with me here, but the other phone that for the demonstration would now get an SMS that he received his 10,000 shillings, and he'll say, okay, now I'm going to treat your grandmother. Okay, so now, okay, we've finished, the doctor leaves, and I can demonstrate what happens if you put the wrong PIN code in, if you put the wrong bank account number, but it'll show up invalid PIN or it'll show up invalid bank account. So just like if you're on your, you want to transfer money in America, you send it to the wrong account. You've got to try and get it back. But if you put in your own PIN code or a non-existent banking number, you've got nothing to worry about. So now let's do a little statement. So we're going to, again, put in our PIN code because you can't do any transactions without putting in a PIN code. So now we're going to get the statement, and the statement is going to show that when it pops up, it'll show 10,000 for Dr. Big Think, 5,000 for Zane, and then we get some mini statements. You get the last 5. So it's got the 10,000, the 5,000, and then, yesterday I demonstrated somebody with a 1,250 and 35,000. So the person now can get an update of what it is that he did, kind of on his phone, just by sitting in his little village. So imagine now all of these transactions would have taken, first of all, it took 1 hour between the doctor coming and doing and paying all your bills and everything. Current real world in Africa, probably have a dead grandmother and a week's worth of coming and going and moving. Mobile health is a big thing. Everybody's talking about how do you do mobile health. So we've developed a little program which will enable, once we have the biometric identification on an individual, we can create a protocol, a registry for that individual, so we can keep some basic information about them. So we can do a health summary. So whatever the protocol, this is a template that we created with the gender, the weight, the height, the BMI, and when I've got my next appointments, but it can also include the blood type, it can include inoculations, it can include whatever the protocol is that particular country would like to have. Now when we do the medical management, so remember whatever's on the phone can be on a point-of-sale device, it can be on a mini computer which communicates. So this can be kind of in all the, this can be wherever there's a clinic or wherever there's a school, this information. This is just showing the holistic potential of once we have developed this communication network that it can be used for money, it can be used for health, it can be used for distributing anything. So here what we do is we have this personal information, so you can change your personal information. Add an appointment. So you can now kind of record when your appointment is so that the doctor can download, or you can put in the doctor's appointment and it can remind you when you have a doctor's appointment. So that way you don't miss your doctor's appointment. Add a prescription. So now you got your you need to take a new prescription, so you can add the prescription that you need to take. In terms of which medication, well, you can add a medication, say how often you need to take it, and it can be programmed to remind you to be able to take your medication. Because one of the big problems with AIDS drugs and all these different drugs, if you don't take the medication on time, you get sicker, and then the cost involved is just huge. And the cost involved in creating this sort of a system and even giving phones, for free to the people who are the recipients of the medication is cheaper to be able to monitor all of this electronically using the phones than it is to have the people not take their medication once, because then suddenly the level of medication and the sickness, etc. This is from a donor perspective. It's much cheaper for them to have a phone with a system like this that can record. So now we have, so you have the frequency and the type, etc. But then we can now record the medicine use, so that the person, when he takes his medication, it pops up and you just record the use. And there are even medications today that there's a special electronic coating on a medication that when you take the medication, it can communicate with your phone that you took your medication. Again, it's just the world, thank God, today is evolving to be an amazingly brilliant world where technology can really have a massive difference in people's lives. And it's no longer science fiction. It's real. It can really be done. Sorry, just one phone I said bring. I didn't say bring both phones. And then also we've developed a little program called the eDoctor. So you can have a quick diagnosis. So let's say somebody is on an AIDS program, so you can, kind of add a symptom. You can remove a symptom of what the person is sick, and you can then query the symptoms either to a live person at the other end, or this isn't an operating program. This is our demo program to show people what we have the potential to be able to create and what the potential is on this system. And then we have a healthcare service directory, which means that the phone can be triangulated. And if you're looking for your nearest clinic, they don't have a yellow pages, they don't have, but now, you know, you can do it in such a way where the people can, you know, their phone, they can say they need a doctor, and it can triangulate, you know, where's the nearest doctor. That's for healthcare. But this same system can work for, okay, where's the nearest, you know, where's the nearest police station? Where's the nearest drugstore? Where's the nearest point of sale machine where somebody can go and get some cash? So the potential is huge of where this can all go. And because we are private sector and we're driven to make money, we're driven to make sure this is successful. We'll make our money on the financial products, and we need the assistance of the donors to enable us to provide the other services in order for us collectively to partner with the developing world governments to help them transform the lives of their citizens.